As dawn breaks over the African savanna, the land awakens beneath a canvas of gold and amber. The horizon stretches unbroken, dotted with the silhouettes of acacia trees and the distant movement of wildebeest herds. This is a world shaped by elemental forces, where every blade of grass and every shadow holds the promise of both life and peril. In the cool hush of morning, antelope and gazelle stand poised, their senses sharpened by generations of survival. Each muscle quivers with anticipation, every ear tuned to the faintest rustle in the grass. Cheetahs, cloaked in dappled shadows, move with ghostly precision, each step calculated, each breath measured, as they close the distance between themselves and their unsuspecting quarry. As the sun climbs, the savanna stirs with the heavy tread of elephants. Their matriarchs lead the way, guiding family groups to hidden waterholes, their trunks sampling the air for distant scents. Beneath their massive feet, the ground teems with life. Armies of termites labour tirelessly, constructing intricate mounds that rise like fortresses from the earth, their unseen tunnels vital to the health of the land. The savanna's pulse is governed by the turning of the seasons. With the arrival of the rains, the plains erupt in a surge of green, rivers overflow, and the air hums with new life. But as the months pass, the relentless sun returns, draining the land of moisture. Waterholes shrink to muddy pools, and the once verdant grasslands fade to brittle gold, challenging every creature to adapt or perish. In times of plenty, the savanna becomes a living mosaic. Herds of zebra and wildebeest graze in harmony, their movements stirring up clouds of insects that attract flocks of storks and cranes. The air vibrates with the calls of weaver birds, their nests swaying from the branches, while the ground is alive with the scurry of countless small creatures. But abundance is fleeting. As drought tightens its grip, the savanna transforms into a crucible of endurance. Animals grow lean, their ribs visible beneath sun-bleached hides, forced to wander ever farther in search of sustenance. Overhead, vultures spiral on thermals, their sharp eyes scanning for the first sign of weakness below. In this arena, predators reign supreme. Lion prides move with silent coordination, their golden coats blending seamlessly with the grass. Lionesses demonstrate the tactics of the hunt to their cubs, while buffalo herds respond with unwavering solidarity. Adults forming a living shield around their calves, horns poised to repel any attack. The great migrations are the heartbeat of the savanna. Driven by ancient instincts, wildebeest and zebra surge across the plains in vast columns, their hooves raising clouds of dust that drift for miles. They brave swollen rivers where crocodiles lie in wait and press onward, guided by the scent of rain and the promise of new grass. Every layer of the savanna is alive with purpose. Dung beetles, tireless and determined, roll their precious cargo across the earth, enriching the soil with each journey. Giraffes, towering above the plains, delicately strip leaves from thorny acacias, shaping the treetops and dispersing seeds with every mouthful. The savanna's stories are written in its soil. Footprints pressed into the dust reveal the passage of herds and the stealth of predators. Feathers and broken eggshells mark the aftermath of unseen dramas, while winding trails trace the endless cycles of migration and pursuit. Storms roll across the plains with breathtaking speed, their thunderheads casting shadows that race over the grass. Rain brings sudden renewal, but also chaos. Predators seize the cover of darkness and confusion, moving with lethal intent as the balance between hunter and hunted is tested anew. To witness the African savanna is to behold a living masterpiece, an ecosystem where every creature, from the smallest insect to the mightiest elephant, is bound together in a web of survival. As the sun sets and the land is bathed in the glow of twilight, the eternal cycle of life and death continues, a testament to the resilience and grandeur of nature's wildest stage. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the endless savanna, a male lion rises from the dew-soaked grass, his mane ablaze with gold. He surveys his domain, every muscle poised, every sense alert to the subtle shifts of the morning breeze. The lion is not just a symbol of dominance. He is the living pulse of a kingdom where survival is earned with every dawn. His presence alone commands respect, sending ripples of caution through the herds that graze in the distance. Within the pride, life unfolds in a tapestry of connection and discipline. Lionesses, the true architects of the pride's strength, nurture bonds through gentle grooming, their tongues smoothing fur and reinforcing trust. Cubs tumble and spar, their playful battles forging the skills they will need to survive. Each lion, from the vigilant mothers to the smallest cub, is bound by a code of cooperation. Every gesture, every glance, a silent language that holds the group together against the relentless challenges of the wild. As the sun dips low, lionesses melt into the tall grass, their bodies press close to the earth. They move with a unity honed by generations, ears flicking, tails signalling, eyes locked on their quarry. In the hush of twilight they fan out, encircling a herd of wildebeest or Cape buffalo. The hunt is a masterclass in patience and precision, a sudden burst of speed, a coordinated ambush, and the savanna erupts in a flurry of dust and muscle. Each hunt is a testament to their strategy, strength, and the unspoken bond that ties them together. In the dappled shadows, the leopard moves alone, a solitary phantom, perfectly adapted for stealth. Muscles ripple beneath its spotted coat as it glides through dense undergrowth, every step measured and silent. When opportunity strikes, the leopard's attack is swift and lethal. With astonishing strength it hauls its prize high into the branches, away from prying eyes and hungry rivals. There, in the safety of the treetops, the leopard feasts, the sunlight filtering through leaves to paint its rosettes in shifting patterns. African wild dogs, their coats splashed with ochre, black and white, are the savanna's most efficient hunters. Moving as a single fluid unit, they communicate with high-pitched chirps and subtle body language. Their hunts are relentless pursuits, stretching for miles across the plains, each member playing a vital role in the chase. When the hunt is over, a remarkable ritual unfolds. The youngest pups and the weakest adults are fed first, a rare display of empathy and social order in the animal kingdom. Their unity is their strength, and their survival depends on the unwavering bonds of the pack. High above, vultures ride invisible thermals, their wings outstretched as they scan the plains for the faintest hint of death. With eyesight sharper than any predator, they can spot a carcass from miles away. When they descend, their powerful beaks and ironclad stomachs make quick work of even the toughest remains. Lappet-faced and white-backed vultures jostle for position, their squabbles a vital part of the savanna's clean-up crew. By consuming what others leave behind, they prevent the spread of disease and return vital nutrients to the earth. As darkness falls, the eerie whoops and cackles of spotted hyenas echo across the plains. Far from mere scavengers, these formidable predators live in matriarchal clans led by dominant females. Their bone-crushing jaws can shatter even the largest bones, extracting nourishment where others cannot. Young hyenas emerge from their dens at dusk, learning the complex rules of their society through play and observation. Every night, the clan's calls weave through the darkness, a reminder of their presence and power. The savannah is a stage for a diverse cast of hunters, each with its own unique strategy. The cheetah, built for speed, explodes into motion in pursuit of gazelle, its slender body a blur against the grass. The serval, with oversized ears and a silent step, stalks rodents and birds in the cover of tall grass. Lions, leopards and wild dogs each claim their territory, their interactions shaping the delicate balance of predator and prey. Every moment on the savannah is a test of adaptation and instinct. A leopard glides through the grass, nearly invisible, while wild dogs launch a coordinated chase across the open plains. From her vantage point atop a termite mound, a lioness scans for movement, her gaze sharp and calculating. At dawn, a hyena follows a scent trail, nose to the ground, searching for opportunity in the cool morning air. When a kill is made, the savannah's clean-up crew assembles. Vultures, hyenas, marabou storks, and jackals converge on the remains, each playing a role in the final act of the cycle. Marabou storks pick through bones with surgical precision, while jackals wait patiently for their turn. Nothing is wasted. Every scrap is consumed, ensuring that life on the savannah continues without interruption. In this vast, sun-drenched theatre, the masters of the savannah, predators and scavengers alike, sustain the rhythm of life. Elephants and giraffes move in the distance, their silhouettes framed by the setting sun, while the drama of survival unfolds below. Every creature, from the smallest scavenger to the mightiest lion, is woven into the golden tapestry of the African plains, their stories echoing through the grasslands with every rising dawn. On the boundless African savannah, survival is not a solitary pursuit. It's a symphony of collective instinct and cooperation. Here, herbivores gather in immense herds, their numbers forming a living shield against the ever-present threat of predators. Each animal, from the smallest impala to the towering buffalo, is a vital note in this orchestral display of vigilance and unity. When danger stirs on the horizon, the herd transforms into a single, pulsing organism. Thousands of hooves drum the earth in perfect synchrony, sending vibrations through the ground and clouds of dust into the air. This coordinated movement is more than chaos. It's a calculated defense, making it nearly impossible for predators to single out the weak or the unwary. Nowhere is this unity more evident than during the Great Migration. Over 1 million wildebeest and zebra surge across the plains, converging at the banks of the Mara River. Here the water churns with hidden danger. Crocodiles lie in wait, their patience as relentless as the current. The confusion of stripes and the density of bodies create a living maze, disrupting the predator's attacks and giving each animal a fighting chance to reach the far shore. Buffalo, however, employ a different tactic. When threatened, the herd contracts into a fortress. Adults form a bristling wall of horns, encircling the vulnerable calves at the core. Their eyes sweep the horizon, every sense attuned to the slightest movement. This defensive formation, coupled with their sheer strength, deters even the most determined lions. Elephants, the giants of the savannah, rely on the wisdom of their matriarchs. With memories spanning decades, these leaders guide their families across parched landscapes, unerringly finding hidden waterholes and safe passage. The herd moves as one, adults flanking the youngest, their trunks entwined in reassurance and protection. In this close-knit society, every member is watched over, and none are left behind. As the dry season tightens its grip, water becomes a battleground. At shrinking waterholes, elephants, hippos and antelope converge, each species wary of the others. Tense standoffs unfold in the mud and heat, where a single misstep can mean disaster. Even here, the rules of coexistence are written in caution and respect, as every animal waits its turn, ever watchful for the glint of crocodile eyes just beneath the surface. Mixed species groups offer a unique advantage. Wildebeest, zebra, buffalo, giraffes, and even ostriches band together, each contributing their own strengths. Giraffes, with their towering vantage, spot danger from afar. Ostriches, ever alert, react swiftly to movement. Together, they form a living network of early warning signals, amplifying the herd's collective awareness. The synchronized movements of these herds are a marvel of natural engineering. As springbok leap in unison and wildebeest surge forward, their unity confuses predators and allows for efficient foraging. The herd's momentum carries them across vast distances, ensuring that food and water are never out of reach for long. As the sun sets and the savanna cools, herds settle together for the night. Silhouetted against the fading light, they remain ever vigilant, ears twitching, eyes scanning the darkness. In this world of constant change and hidden danger, unity is the ultimate adaptation. Here, survival is not just an individual struggle, but a shared journey, where every member, from the smallest calf to the oldest matriarch, plays a vital role in the safety and success of the group. At the very top of the world, the Tibetan Plateau sprawls beneath a sky so vast it seems to swallow the horizon. Here the air is razor-thin, each breath a hard-won victory, and the land is shaped by forces as ancient as the mountains themselves. Relentless winds sweep across the highlands, sculpting the earth and chilling the marrow of every creature that calls this place home. This is a world where survival is not just a daily challenge, but a constant battle against the elements. Gale-force winds tear across the open grasslands, transforming the landscape into a frozen tapestry. Frost forms intricate crystalline patterns on every exposed surface, delicate lacework that vanishes with the first touch of sunlight. Food is a precious commodity, and every living thing here must fight for its share, adapting to scarcity and cold with remarkable ingenuity. Wild yaks, armoured in dense, insulating fur, traverse the frozen steppe in tight-knit herds. Their massive lungs draw in the thin, icy air, while their broad hooves break through crusted snow to reveal the last remnants of grass. Each step is a testament to their endurance, their bodies engineered for the extremes of altitude and cold. Hidden among the jagged cliffs, the snow leopard reigns as a phantom of the highlands. Its dappled coat blends seamlessly with the rocks, rendering it nearly invisible to both prey and rival. With each silent step, its thick tail curls for balance, and its keen eyes scan the slopes for the faintest sign of movement. In a sudden burst of power, the snow leopard launches itself between ledges, pursuing the nimble blue sheep. Both predator and prey are masters of the vertical world, their bodies honed for balance and agility on sheer, unforgiving slopes. The chase is a breathtaking dance, played out on the razor's edge of survival. On the ground, the plateau pika, a small, round-bodied mammal, scurries between the safety of its burrows. It gathers dry grasses, weaving them into warm nests that shield against the biting cold. Though tiny, the pika is a cornerstone of this ecosystem, its presence felt far beyond its size. The pika's labyrinthine tunnels aerate the soil, nurturing the grasslands above. Its sharp alarm calls ripple across the plateau, warning others of danger and drawing the attention of ever-watchful predators like the Tibetan fox. The Tibetan fox, with its squared muzzle and piercing gaze, stalks the plateau with patience and precision. Often it trails behind the lumbering brown bear, waiting for the giant to unearth hidden prey or expose a pika's burrow. Every sense is attuned to the faintest rustle, the slightest movement in the grass. In a heartbeat, the fox springs into action, pouncing with surgical precision. The pika darts for cover, vanishing into its maze of tunnels just as the fox's jaws snap shut on empty air. This is a contest of speed and wits, played out countless times each day. High above, Himalayan vultures circle on powerful wings, riding the fierce updrafts that sweep the plateau. Their sharp eyes scan the ground for the faintest sign of life or death below. Every animal here is a specialist, perfectly adapted to the demands of this harsh environment. The plateau is a living tapestry, each species woven into the fabric of survival. Argali sheep graze on sparse tufts of grass, their senses ever alert to the presence of predators. The fox, the pika, the snow leopard, all are bound together in a delicate balance, each life dependent on the next. Sudden blizzards sweep across the plateau without warning, blanketing the land in snow and ice. Animals hunker down, their bodies built to endure the coldest nights and the fiercest storms. Frost clings to whiskers and fur, breath crystallizes in the air, every heartbeat a triumph over adversity. The fate of each species is written in the snow. Overlapping tracks tell stories of pursuit and escape, of nightly dramas played out beneath the silent stars. Here, every life is intertwined, every struggle a thread in the plateau's endless story. As dawn breaks and golden light spills across the highlands, the Tibetan Plateau awakens once more. Every creature, from the mighty yak to the smallest pika, stands as a testament to nature's resilience and ingenuity. Here, at the roof of the world, each day is a new chapter in the epic saga of survival. Towering above the world, the Tibetan Plateau is a land sculpted by extremes. Here the air is thin and sharp, the cold relentless, and the winds carve the landscape into a realm of raw, untamed beauty. Every living creature that calls these high peaks home has been shaped by the unforgiving elements, each adaptation a testament to nature's ingenuity and resilience. The elusive Pallas's cat, cloaked in dense silvery fur, moves with ghost-like precision among the rocks. Its compact body and low-set ears are not just for warmth, they are tools of invisibility, allowing it to vanish into the stony landscape. With each calculated step, it stalks the nimble pika, relying on patience and perfect camouflage to secure its next meal. In the shadowy bamboo groves, red pandas display remarkable agility. Their semi-retractable claws grip the slick, icy branches, while their luxuriously bushy tails wrap around their bodies, warding off the chill of alpine nights. High above the forest floor, they find sanctuary, feeding on tender bamboo leaves and dozing in the safety of the treetops, their russet coats dusted with snow. Above the peaks, Himalayan vultures command the skies. With wingspans stretching nearly 3 meters, they ride invisible rivers of rising air, scanning the vast slopes for the faintest sign of carrion. Their powerful digestive systems break down even the toughest remains, transforming death into new life and keeping the fragile ecosystem in balance. Deep in the forests, the giant panda quietly devours bamboo, its powerful jaws and specialized wrist bone turning tough stalks into sustenance. Solitary by nature, it navigates the dense undergrowth with deliberate grace. Nearby, Tibetan macaques thrive in close-knit troops, their survival bound to complex social bonds. Through grooming and vocal calls, they reinforce alliances, share warmth, and navigate the challenges of isolation and scarcity. But the high peaks are changing. Glaciers that once seemed eternal now retreat with alarming speed, their ancient ice giving way to bare rock and thawing permafrost. Alpine meadows, once lush with wildflowers and grasses, shrink year by year, leaving less room for the rare species that depend on them. The glaciers of the plateau are more than frozen monuments. They are the lifeblood of Asia's greatest rivers. As meltwater tumbles down the slopes, it nourishes mosses, wildflowers, and entire ecosystems far below. Yet, as these ice reserves dwindle, the future of countless species, and millions of people downstream, hangs in the balance. Conservationists work tirelessly to safeguard the plateau's most iconic inhabitants. Wild yaks, with their massive frames and shaggy coats, endure blizzards and biting winds, while snow leopards, masters of stealth, melt into the rocky slopes, unseen but ever present. Each species is a living symbol of adaptation, but their future is far from certain. As the first light of dawn spills across the Tibetan mountains, the secrets of the high peaks are revealed in every adaptation, every silent struggle for survival. This is a world where life clings to the edge, where every sunrise is both a triumph and a warning. The fate of this extraordinary ecosystem now rests in our hands, as nature's fiercest showdowns continue high above the clouds. In the heart of Europe, the Alps rise in silent grandeur, their peaks and valleys orchestrating a symphony that unfolds with the turning of each season. As winter's icy grip begins to loosen, the land stirs beneath a crystalline shroud, and the first tentative rays of spring sunlight coax dormant life from the frozen earth. Frost crystals, delicate as spun glass, lace the grass at dawn, catching the light in a fleeting display of nature's artistry. Beneath this fragile armour, the slow trickle of snowmelt carves new paths down ancient slopes, weaving tiny streams through meadows that awaken in a hush of anticipation. As the landscape transforms, creatures great and small emerge from their winter refuges, each finely attuned to the shifting rhythms of the mountains. The alpine salamander, its obsidian skin glistening with dew, slips quietly from beneath mossy stones, moving with deliberate grace through the damp undergrowth. Overhead, choughs wheel and dive, their sharp calls echoing across the valleys, a herald of renewal that stirs the slumbering world. Spring breathes colour and vitality into the landscape. In secluded meadows, deer give birth to fawns, their legs trembling as they take their first uncertain steps on the soft earth. Marmots, blinking in the sudden brightness, emerge from months of hibernation, their fur still thick against the lingering chill. Wildflowers, crocuses, gentians and more, burst through the receding snow, painting the slopes in a riot of colour. Bees and butterflies, newly awakened, flit tirelessly among the petals, pollinating the next generation of alpine blooms. On the glassy surfaces of mountain lakes, grebes perform their intricate courtship dances, each movement mirrored in the rippling water. Beneath the surface, alpine newts glide with effortless elegance, their vivid markings flashing like jewels in the filtered sunlight, a secret celebration of spring's return, hidden from all but the most patient observer. With the arrival of summer, the mountains erupt in a rush of abundance. Ibex and chamois, masters of the vertical world, scale sheer cliffs with astonishing agility, their hooves finding purchase on the narrowest ledges. Herds graze on the lush grasses that blanket the high pastures, their presence a testament to survival in this rugged realm. In the sunlit meadows below, butterflies and grasshoppers fill the air, their movements weaving a living mosaic of energy and colour that dances across the landscape. High above, golden eagles ride the rising thermals, their wings outstretched as they scan the slopes for the faintest sign of movement. With a sudden stoop, they dive, talons poised for the hunt. On the ground, the alpine fox moves with silent precision through the tall grass, its senses honed by generations of adaptation, a master of stealth in the season's bounty. As the days shorten and the air grows crisp, autumn descends in a blaze of gold and crimson. Squirrels scurry among the trees, cheeks bulging with seeds and nuts, each cache a lifeline for the winter to come. Flocks of alpine accenters dart through the branches, their plumage blending seamlessly with the fiery foliage, a fleeting camouflage in the season's final flourish. In the shadowed forests, the drama of survival intensifies. Red deer stags, driven by ancient instincts, clash antlers in thunderous battles for dominance, their breath steaming in the chill air. Nearby, wild boar root through the leaf litter, unearthing the last acorns and chestnuts, a final feast before the long winter's scarcity. Amid the tumult, the quiet work of renewal continues. Forgotten seeds, buried and overlooked, sprout into new life, saplings pushing through the carpet of fallen leaves, reaching for the pale autumn sun. Pine cones split open, their seeds spiralling to the forest floor, carried by the wind to places unknown. Squirrels, in their frantic preparations, become unwitting gardeners, shaping the future of the forest with every hidden cache. The cycle of life, death, and rebirth unfolds beneath skies of breathtaking beauty. Sunrises ignite the snow-capped summits in a blaze of gold, while mists drift through ancient valleys, veiling the land in mystery and promise. Each dawn brings new challenges, and each dusk a quiet reckoning. Winter returns with unyielding force. Storms sweep across the ridges, blanketing the world in silence and snow. Every creature must summon its resilience to endure the cold. The ptarmigan, now cloaked in immaculate white, vanishes into the drifts, its camouflage perfect against the frozen landscape. Mountain hares bound across the snow, leaving only fleeting tracks as evidence of their passage. From the shadowed valleys to the wind-scoured peaks, life persists against all odds. The elusive lynx, a phantom of the winter woods, pads silently through the snow, its gaze fixed on distant prey. Each step is measured, each movement a testament to the art of survival in a world shaped by extremes. The Alps are a living tapestry, woven from countless threads. Each species, each plant, each fleeting moment contributes to the mountain's enduring story. Rare edelweiss blooms on rocky outcrops, its star-shaped petals a symbol of resilience, surrounded by moss and lichen that cling to life in the harshest conditions. Every struggle, every triumph is etched into the land. From the smallest salamander seeking shelter beneath a stone as rain falls, droplets glistening on its skin, to the mighty ibex braving the heights, each life is a note in the symphony, a testament to the relentless will to endure. Here, survival is a story of adaptation and endurance, of creatures shaped by the mountains and mountains shaped by time. The ibex stands confidently on a narrow ledge, its silhouette framed by swirling snow, while a lone chamois braces itself against the wind, steadfast in the face of adversity. The ever-changing seasons sculpt every life in this wild, majestic world. From the first thaw of spring to the deep silence of winter, the Alps play out their eternal symphony, a masterpiece composed in light, colour and the enduring spirit of survival. Winter in the Alps is a season of profound transformation, a time when the mountains are cloaked in silence and the world above ground seems to pause. Blankets of snow smother the high meadows, muffling every sound and sealing away the vibrant life that flourished just months before. Beneath this frozen surface, marmots retreat deep into their labyrinthine burrows, entering a remarkable state of torpor. Their bodies cool, heartbeat slow to a faint rhythm, and they survive for months without food or sunlight, relying solely on the fat reserves built up during the brief alpine summer. Above the snow, life adapts in ingenious ways. The ptarmigan, once mottled brown, now wears a cloak of pure white feathers, rendering it nearly invisible against the endless snowfields. Snowshoe hares, too, undergo a dramatic transformation, their fur turning a ghostly white and their oversized feet acting as natural snowshoes, allowing them to bound effortlessly across the powder. Their camouflage is their shield, a vital defence against the ever-watchful eyes of alpine predators. As the cold deepens and the wind scours the exposed ridges, herds of red deer and chamois abandon the inhospitable heights. They descend into sheltered valleys where sparse tufts of grass and bark offer a meagre lifeline through the harshest months. Meanwhile, the ibex and mountain goats remain high on the cliffs, their split hooves gripping the icy rock with astonishing precision. They forage among snow-laden stones, seeking out lichen and moss revealed by the relentless alpine winds. Predators, too, are shaped by the demands of winter. The Eurasian lynx, master of stealth, glides silently through the snow-draped forest, its broad, fur-lined paws distributing its weight so perfectly that it leaves barely a trace. The stoat, now dressed in a pristine white coat, becomes a relentless hunter, weaving through the snow and plunging beneath the surface to pursue rodents in their hidden tunnels. Every movement is calculated, every hunt a test of survival. The red fox, ever resourceful, listens intently for the faintest rustle beneath the snow. With a sudden leap, it dives headfirst into the drifts, emerging with a vole or mouse clamped in its jaws. High above, golden eagles ride the icy thermals, their wings casting fleeting shadows over the white expanse. With eyesight sharp enough to spot the slightest movement, they swoop down with breathtaking speed, seizing unsuspecting prey in the open snowfields. Wolves, having reclaimed their ancestral territory, move as a tightly knit pack through the snow-laden forests. Their coordinated movements and keen senses allow them to track herds across the deep drifts, testing the strength and vigilance of their prey. When the hunt is over, they rest together in sheltered hollows, their presence restoring a delicate balance to the alpine ecosystem, keeping herbivore populations in check and allowing the fragile vegetation to recover. But the rhythm of the Alpine year is changing. Glaciers, once thought eternal, now retreat at a pace never before witnessed. As the ice melts, torrents of frigid water surge into the valleys, carving new paths and exposing bare rock where ancient glaciers once flowed. These changes threaten the very existence of cold-adapted species, forcing them to adapt or vanish, and reshaping the contours of the land itself. Into this shifting landscape come new arrivals, species never before seen in these heights. Raccoons and American mink, both invasive, exploit the changing conditions, competing with native wildlife for scarce resources. Their presence disrupts the intricate web of relationships that has evolved over millennia, placing additional strain on populations already pushed to their limits by the changing climate. Yet, amidst these challenges, there are stories of hope. The alpine ibex, once teetering on the brink of extinction, now stands proudly atop snowy crags, a symbol of resilience and recovery. The lynx, too, has returned, its presence a silent testament to the power of conservation. Overhead, the bearded vulture soars, its wings casting wide shadows as it searches for bones to sustain it through the winter, a living relic of a wilder age. The fate of the Alps now rests in our hands. Only through vigilant stewardship and a deep respect for its wild inhabitants can this ancient landscape endure. If we succeed, the cycles of survival and renewal will continue, and the untamed beauty of the Alpine Year will inspire generations yet to come. Slip beneath the shimmering turquoise veil of the Caribbean Sea, and you are transported into a world where colour is not just a feature. It is the very language of life. Here, beneath the gentle sway of the waves, coral reefs rise from the ocean floor like bustling underwater cities, their towers and labyrinthine arches meticulously crafted by generations of tireless coral polyps. Each polyp, no bigger than a grain of rice, is a master builder, secreting limestone to form the intricate skeletons that support this vibrant metropolis. Under the lens of sunlight, these polyps glow with an ethereal radiance, emerald, magenta, and sapphire, each one pulsing gently as it extends its delicate tentacles to capture drifting morsels from the current. Their translucent bodies shimmer, alive with the subtle dance of life and light. But the true magic lies in their partnership with microscopic algae, known as zooxanthellae. These tiny symbionts, nestled within the coral's tissue, act as living solar panels, capturing sunlight and transforming it into energy. This alliance fuels the explosive growth of the reef, painting it in a kaleidoscope of colours that shift and shimmer with every passing hour. Among the coral towers, parrotfish glide with effortless grace. Their scales glint like stained glass as they graze on algae and coral, their powerful beaks crunching through limestone. Each bite shapes the reef's contours, and as they feed, they create clouds of fine white sand, transforming ancient coral into the powdery beaches that fringe these islands. In the shadowy crevices, cleaner shrimp perform their delicate ballet. With antennae waving like banners, they beckon passing fish to pause for a meticulous cleaning. These tiny custodians pluck away parasites and dead skin, their movements precise and purposeful, ensuring the health of their clients and the balance of the reef. Sponges in hues of cobalt, gold and violet anchor themselves to the reef's surface. They draw in gallons of seawater each day, filtering out nutrients and purifying the ocean. Nearby, anemones sway gently, their tentacles a living fortress for clownfish, who dart among them in a mesmerizing dance of mutual protection. Every nook and cranny of the reef becomes a sanctuary. Jewel-toned gobies and camouflaged blennies peer from coral caves, their bodies perfectly matched to the intricate patterns around them. Here, survival depends on blending in, on finding shelter in the endless maze of living stone. The reef is alive with constant motion. Clouds of anthias and damselfish swirl in synchronized patterns, their scales flashing orange and violet as they dart through coral branches. Each movement is a response to the ever-shifting tides and the silent approach of predators. Above, sleek reef sharks patrol the open water, their presence a reminder of the delicate balance that governs this ecosystem. Schools of silvery jacks trail in their wake, while below shrimp, crabs, and countless other creatures play their part in the intricate web of life. The reef's survival depends on a tapestry of alliances, symbiotic relationships that have evolved over millennia. Butterfly fish delicately feed on coral polyps, while moray eels share their lairs with cleaner wrasse, each species relying on the other for sustenance and protection. Stretching beyond the horizon, coral reefs form living mosaics, vast interconnected networks that support an astonishing diversity of life. Each pinnacle and crevice is a testament to nature's ingenuity, resilience, and boundless creativity. In this underwater masterpiece, every creature, every colour, and every alliance contributes to a living tapestry, an ever-evolving work of art painted by the brushstrokes of countless beings, thriving together in a world of living colour. Beneath the shimmering surface, coral reefs form a living tapestry, an underwater metropolis constructed by countless generations of tiny coral polyps. These fragile architects build vast, intricate structures, layer by layer, creating a sanctuary for an astonishing array of marine life. Every crevice and overhang shelters a different species, from the smallest goby to the majestic reef shark, all woven together in a delicate balance. Sunlight dances through the water, illuminating a world bursting with colour and movement, where parrotfish graze on coral, anemones cradle clownfish, and butterfly fish weave through the labyrinthine branches. Yet this vibrant ecosystem is more vulnerable than it appears, standing on the front lines of a rapidly changing planet. As ocean temperatures climb, the reef's resilience is tested to its limits. When the water grows too warm, corals are forced to expel the symbiotic algae, zooxanthellae, that live within their tissues. These microscopic partners are the reef's lifeblood, providing essential nutrients and the brilliant hues that define healthy coral. Without them, the corals lose their colour, turning a stark spectral white in a phenomenon known as bleaching. The once thriving reef becomes a ghostly landscape, its vibrant energy fading with every passing day. Deprived of their vital partners, corals begin to starve, their energy reserves dwindling. The bustling city of the reef empties as fish scatter in search of new shelter, and the intricate web of life unravels. Crabs, shrimp, and countless other creatures vanish, leaving behind a silent graveyard where algae creep over the skeletons of what once was. The reef's heartbeat slows, its symphony of life reduced to a haunting silence. The consequences ripple far beyond the reef itself. Without the natural barrier of living coral, coastlines are left exposed to the relentless force of the sea. Storm-driven waves crash unimpeded onto the shore, accelerating erosion and threatening the stability of coastal habitats. Sediment clouds the once clear waters, smothering seagrass beds and mangrove roots, disrupting the delicate balance that sustains life along the water's edge. Within the labyrinth of coral, every species plays a unique role. From the tiniest nudibranch gliding across a coral branch to the camouflaged octopus vanishing into the reef, each organism is a thread in a complex tapestry of interactions. The reef's biodiversity is a living library, holding secrets to new medicines, remarkable adaptations and evolutionary marvels shaped over millennia. With every species lost, an irreplaceable chapter of nature's story is erased. Across the globe, the same pattern emerges. Melting glaciers, parched wetlands and scorched forests echo the plight of the fading reef. Climate change, habitat destruction and poaching drive countless species toward the brink, unravelling the fabric of life in every corner of the planet. The struggle for survival grows ever more intense as the wild faces challenges it has never known before. These are not distant tragedies, but urgent signals. Melting glaciers, vanishing herds and reefs reduced to rubble are warnings from a world in flux. Each scene is a testament to the profound changes reshaping our planet and a call to action for those who would listen. Nature's balance is a masterpiece of interdependence. Predator and prey, plant and animal, land and sea, all locked in a perpetual dance. The health of the reef echoes through the food web, sustaining creatures great and small and maintaining the equilibrium that allows life to flourish. To protect these wild places is to safeguard the future itself. Conservation is not merely preservation. It is a promise to generations yet unborn, a commitment to the resilience and beauty of life in all its forms. Each spawning event, each swirling school of fish, is a testament to nature's enduring spirit. As dawn breaks over the wild, hope stirs beneath the waves. In saving the reefs and the wild places of our world, we secure the foundation of life itself, ensuring that the epic story of survival, adaptation and wonder continues, vibrant and unbroken, for all time. As the sun dips beneath the horizon, the wild is transformed. The golden light fades, painting the land in deepening hues of indigo and violet. A hush settles over the savanna and forest alike, as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for the next act to begin. But for many, this is not a time of rest. As twilight deepens, the night shift awakens. Shadows stretch and merge, and a new chapter of survival unfolds beneath the rising moon. In this world of darkness, a different cast of characters emerges. Each is exquisitely adapted to thrive where light is scarce, and every sound, every scent carries new meaning. Their senses are sharpened, their movements precise, as they navigate a landscape ruled by shadow and silence. Deep within the forest, a tarsier clings to a slender branch, its enormous eyes reflecting the faintest glimmer of moonlight. These eyes, among the largest relative to body size in the animal kingdom, gather every available photon, allowing the tarsier to see what others cannot. With a sudden, silent leap, it snatches an unsuspecting insect from the bark. Its acute hearing detects the faintest flutter of wings, and its nimble fingers grasp prey with surgical precision. In the night, the tarsier is both ghost and hunter. Nearby, a moth unfurls its delicate wings, scales shimmering with patterns invisible to the human eye. Under ultraviolet light, these patterns become a secret code, guiding mates and warning rivals in a language reserved for the night. Out on the open savanna, the great cats begin to stir. Lions, having spent the heat of the day in languid repose, now rise as the air cools and the shadows lengthen. Their golden coats, so vivid in daylight, now dissolve into the tall grass. Every muscle tenses, every sense sharpens as they prepare for the hunt. The darkness is their ally, masking their approach as they move with practiced stealth. The pride moves as a single silent unit. Low rumbles and subtle gestures pass between them, a language of cooperation and strategy honed over generations. In the night, unity is strength. Prey animals, too, are on high alert. Zebras gather tightly, their ears flicking at every sound, nostrils flaring to catch the scent of danger. In the darkness, vigilance is the difference between life and death. Far from the grasslands, the desert undergoes its own transformation. As the sun sets, the heat dissipates rapidly, and the sand cools beneath the pale glow of the moon. From hidden burrows, small mammals emerge, their bodies adapted to conserve precious moisture. Whiskers twitch, noses test the air, and tiny feet leave fleeting tracks across the sand. The fennec fox, with ears as large as its head, stands motionless. It listens intently, attuned to the faintest vibrations beneath the surface. With a sudden pounce, it unearths a beetle, its meal secured by senses honed for the nocturnal hunt. High above, in the forest canopy, a flying squirrel launches itself into the night. Its outstretched membrane catches the air, allowing it to glide silently from tree to tree, guided only by the faint shimmer of starlight filtering through the leaves. Beneath the surface of a moonlit lake, a school of catfish moves through murky water. Sight is useless here. Instead, they rely on sensitive barbels to taste and touch their way through the darkness, detecting the faintest chemical trails left by prey. Electric eels glide through the current, sending out pulses of electricity. These invisible signals map the world around them, revealing obstacles and prey in a landscape where light cannot reach. Across every habitat, life has evolved remarkable adaptations to master the night. From heightened senses to specialized camouflage, each trait is a testament to the relentless pressure of survival after sundown. Bats sweep through the air, navigating by echolocation, sending out high-pitched calls and reading the echoes that return. Fireflies communicate with pulses of living light, their bioluminescence a beacon in the darkness. For others, the night sharpens every sense, turning the world into a tapestry of sound, scent, and subtle movement. Here, the rules of survival are rewritten. Camouflage deepens, blending fur and feathers into the shadows. Calls become whispers, and every step is measured, every movement a calculated risk in a world where danger is ever present, but rarely seen. Night is not simply the absence of day. It is a parallel realm, governed by its own laws and rhythms, where the drama of life continues in silence and secrecy. Under the stars, the wild pulses with energy. Predators and prey engage in a silent ballet, each moment charged with tension and beauty. The struggle for existence never ceases, only changes form. In the deepest shadows, the wild reveals its most closely guarded secrets. Here, epic battles are fought in silence, and only the boldest survive. Night after night, the contest continues, unseen, but no less fierce than in the blazing light of day. At the planet's most remote boundaries, where the land dissolves into a vast frozen expanse, survival is not just a challenge. It is a relentless daily trial. Here, the Arctic's icy grip shapes every moment, and only the most resilient endure. Each breath crystallizes in the frigid air, and every heartbeat is a battle against the numbing cold. In this stark wilderness, life is measured in moments of endurance and ingenuity. Beneath curtains of emerald and violet auroras, a solitary Arctic fox navigates the windswept tundra, its paws barely leaving a trace on the powdery snow. Its fur, a flawless white, is both shield and disguise, rendering the fox nearly invisible to both predator and prey, a masterstroke of natural adaptation. The wind whips across the tundra, carrying with it the faintest scents. The fox halts, nose quivering, ears attuned to the subtle rustle of a lemming tunnelling beneath the snow's crust. In a flash of precision, it leaps, plunging headfirst into the snow. The fox's survival hinges on these split-second decisions, each pounce a gamble in a world of scarcity. Not far away, a formidable herd of musk oxen stands united, forming a living fortress. Their thick, shaggy coats and imposing horns are their armour against both the cold and prowling predators. At the heart of this circle, calves press close to their mothers, shielded from the biting wind and the ever-present threat of wolves lurking beyond the ring. A pack of wolves, lean and hungry, circles the herd. Their eyes gleam with anticipation, each movement calculated, probing for weakness in the musk oxen's defence. Suddenly the musk oxen surge forward, hooves thundering across the ice. The wolves scatter, their hunt thwarted for now, but the tension between predator and prey never truly fades. Farther south, on the shifting ice floes, an emperor penguin colony weathers the endless twilight of polar winter. The landscape glows with a surreal, perpetual dusk. Adults cluster in dense formations, their bodies pressed together in a living shield against the merciless wind. Each penguin takes its turn on the outer edge, rotating inward to share warmth and survive the coldest nights. In the heart of the huddle, a downy chick peeks from beneath a parent's feathers, its fragile life dependent on the warmth and vigilance of the colony. Beneath the ice, in a world bathed in blue-green twilight, a Weddell seal glides effortlessly, navigating a labyrinth of submerged tunnels and shifting flows. Sensitive whiskers sweep the water, detecting the faintest vibrations. A hidden fish, a distant rival, or the subtle movement of prey beneath the ice. The seal surfaces through a precisely remembered breathing hole, its internal map of the ever-shifting ice, a lifeline in a world where every breath is precious. High above, a snowy owl perches silently, its golden eyes scanning the endless white for the slightest movement. With spectral grace, the owl descends, wings outstretched, talons poised to snatch a vole exposed by the shifting snow. Every hunt is a delicate balance between energy spent and energy gained. A single misstep can mean the difference between life and death. Across this frozen realm, adaptation is the currency of survival. Each species has evolved remarkable strategies to endure the endless night and biting cold. Thick layers of insulating fur, ample fat reserves, and intricate social behaviours are all vital tools in the arsenal of Arctic wildlife. The frozen frontier moulds not only bodies, but instincts and behaviours, forging creatures as unyielding as the ice that surrounds them. Each day is a negotiation with the elements, a ceaseless contest with hunger, cold, and darkness. The blizzard's fury tests every living thing, demanding resourcefulness and grit. Yet even in the harshest conditions, life persists, undaunted, ingenious, and breathtakingly beautiful, a testament to nature's enduring spirit. As the sun finally crests the horizon, painting the ice in gold and rose, the frozen frontier reveals its greatest secret. When the world is at its coldest, nature's will to survive burns brightest. Beneath the dense emerald canopy of the world's ancient rainforests, a silent war unfolds in perpetual twilight. Here the sun's rays filter through a living mosaic of leaves, painting shifting patterns of gold and green across a world suspended between shadow and light. Life here is a masterclass in adaptation. The rainforest is a vertical kingdom, layered from the shadowy forest floor to the sun-drenched heights. Each stratum is a battleground, where camouflage, patience and cunning are as vital as tooth and claw. On the forest floor, a tapestry of fallen leaves and tangled roots conceals a multitude of lives. Insects, reptiles and amphibians vanish into the undergrowth, their colours and shapes mimicking bark, moss and shadow. Here, survival is a matter of remaining unseen, every movement calculated, every breath measured. High above, a glass frog clings to the underside of a broad, rain-slicked leaf. Its body, nearly transparent, is a marvel of evolutionary engineering. Organs and bones visible through skin so delicate it seems woven from mist. The frog's heart pulses in plain sight, yet it remains invisible to the sharp-eyed predators that patrol the canopy. Sunlight, fractured by the leaves above, glances off its body, rendering it a ghost in the green. Rain begins to fall, each drop a tiny drumbeat on the leaves. The sound cloaks the delicate vibrations of a katydid as it inches along a slender stem, antennae flickering, every sense attuned to the faintest hint of danger. In the tangled mid-canopy, a troop of capuchin monkeys moves with practiced agility. Their bodies weave through a labyrinth of vines and branches, each leap calculated, each grip sure as they traverse their leafy domain. The monkeys forage with deft fingers, prying open bromeliads to uncover hidden insects, sipping nectar from fleeting blossoms. Every meal is a reward for vigilance, every bite a victory in the daily contest for sustenance. But danger is never far. Coiled in perfect stillness, an emerald tree boa waits, its scales blending seamlessly with the foliage. Only the faintest flicker of its tongue betrays its presence as it senses the vibrations of potential prey. In a flash, the snake strikes, its attack swift and silent. The monkeys erupt into chaos, scattering through the canopy, their alarm calls piercing the humid air, a warning that ripples through the forest. Below, in the dappled shadows of the understory, a jaguar glides through the gloom. Its rosette-patterned coat breaks up its outline, rendering it nearly invisible as it stalks the margins of light and darkness. The big cat's muscles ripple beneath its skin as it stalks a peccary which roots for fallen fruit, oblivious to the silent threat closing in. With explosive power, the jaguar lunges. The peccaries, sensing danger, burst into motion, their tusks gleaming as they defend their own. The hunter is forced to melt back into the shadows, the balance of power shifting once more. On the forest floor, a different kind of battle rages. Leaf-cutter ants march in endless columns, each worker bearing a fragment of green many times its own weight. Their journey is guided by invisible highways of pheromones, a chemical map etched into the earth, leading to the heart of their subterranean fortress. Deep underground, the colony cultivates vast fungal gardens, the lifeblood of their society. Here, cooperation is absolute, discipline unyielding, each ant a vital cog in a living machine. Yet even in this fortress peril lurks. Parasitic phorid flies hover above the columns, their eyes fixed on isolated workers. With surgical precision, a fly descends, delivering a single devastating sting that can tip the balance of the colony's fate. Far above, a harpy eagle surveys its domain from a lofty perch. Its talons, as long as a grizzly bear's claws, are poised for the hunt, while its gaze pierces the tangled green below. With a silent beat of its massive wings, the eagle launches into the air, gliding effortlessly above the treetops, its shadow passing over the world below like a fleeting omen. In stark contrast, a sloth moves with glacial patience, its fur tinged green by symbiotic algae. Perfectly camouflaged, it becomes a living part of the foliage, evading detection by remaining almost perfectly still. In this layered world, survival is an art of blending in, of listening to the subtle cues of the forest, and of moving only when the moment is right. Every creature is both hunter and hunted, every sense sharpened by necessity. From the tiniest leafhopper to the apex predator, each species is locked in a ceaseless contest of adaptation. Here, victory is measured in heartbeats, and every sense, sight, sound, scent, is a weapon in the ongoing struggle for existence. The rainforest's secret battles are rarely witnessed in their entirety, but their echoes shape the destiny of all who dwell beneath this ancient living roof, a world where silence is never truly still, and every shadow hides a story of survival. As the tide withdraws, it reveals a sprawling, glistening wilderness, the mudflats, where the boundary between land and sea is redrawn with every passing hour. Here the earth is slick and shining, a canvas painted anew by the ocean's retreat, and the stage is set for a relentless contest of survival. Each exposed patch of mud is alive with movement. Tiny amphipods, snails and worms emerge from their burrows, seizing the fleeting opportunity to feed before the water returns. The air is thick with the scent of brine, and the faint rustle of countless legs and shells scraping across the wet surface. Fiddler crabs, with their distinctive oversized claws, rise from the safety of their tunnels. Their eyes, perched atop stalks, scan for both rivals and predators, every movement calculated and cautious. Males engage in ritualized combat, brandishing their claws in a display of strength and bravado. The victor secures not only territory, but the right to attract a mate, while the defeated must retreat, exposed and anxious. Each skirmish is a high-stakes gamble. The winner claims the prime burrow, while the loser is left vulnerable, forced to scuttle across open ground where sharp-eyed sandpipers probe the mud for any sign of weakness. Along the water's edge, egrets glide with deliberate poise. Their slender legs slip through the shallows, barely disturbing the glassy surface, as they scan for the slightest ripple of movement beneath. Suddenly, an egret's head darts forward. Its beak pierces the mud, emerging with a wriggling mudskipper, a fish uniquely adapted to this amphibious world, able to breathe both in water and in air. The mudskipper thrashes, its muscular body twisting in a desperate bid for freedom. Gills flutter, eyes bulge, but the struggle is brief. In a single gulp, the egret swallows its prize, the cycle of predation playing out in seconds. In the deeper channels, a spectacle unfolds as thousands of blue soldier crabs surge across the mud in perfect unison. Their synchronized march forms a living tide, each individual moving as part of a greater whole, overwhelming obstacles and predators alike through sheer numbers. As the sun climbs higher, the mud begins to dry and crack. Worms and mollusks sense the change, burrowing deeper into the cool, damp earth to escape both the searing heat and the probing beaks of hungry birds. Beneath the surface, a master of disguise lurks. An octopus glides silently through a shallow pool, its skin shifting in colour and texture to match the mottled mud, rendering it nearly invisible to both prey and predator. With a sudden, fluid motion, the octopus extends an arm, ensnaring an unsuspecting crab. In an instant, both vanish into a hollow, leaving only a cloud of silt swirling in the disturbed water, a silent testament to the ambush. Overhead, an osprey hovers, its keen eyes scanning the intricate maze of tidal pools below. Every movement is calculated, every shadow scrutinized for the telltale flicker of a stranded fish. In a flash, the raptor folds its wings and plunges downward. Talons extended, it strikes the water with explosive force, emerging with a writhing fish clutched tightly in its grasp, droplets scattering in the sunlight. The osprey's victory is hard won. Each meal is a race against time, for the returning tide will soon erase the hunting grounds, forcing predator and prey alike to adapt or perish. As the ocean's edge advances once more, the Mudflats' denizens retreat with urgency. Those who linger risk being swept away by the surging water or trapped in the open, exposed to new dangers. The rhythm of life here is dictated by celestial forces. The moon and sun orchestrate a ceaseless ballet of ebb and flow. Every creature, from the smallest worm to the soaring osprey, is both predator and prey, locked in a perpetual struggle for existence. With each tide, the landscape is sculpted anew. The mudflats are transformed, their contours shifting beneath the weight of water and the passage of countless lives. Here, the tides of conflict never rest, forging a world where only the most adaptable endure, a living testament to nature's raw, unscripted drama. Deep within the sprawling eucalyptus wilderness, a realm unfolds where life and danger are inseparable. Here the forest breathes with anticipation, every leaf and branch attuned to the ever-present threat that defines existence in this volatile domain. Survival in this land is dictated not by gentle rains or the slow turn of seasons, but by the erratic, ferocious rhythm of fire. Smoke drifts between the trunks, a silent herald of the chaos that can erupt at any moment. Ancient eucalyptus trees, their bark peeling away in long curling ribbons, shed layers that blanket the ground in a patchwork of tinder. Each fallen strip is a memory of past blazes and a promise of fires yet to come. The air is saturated with the sharp, medicinal scent of eucalyptus oil. Every breeze stirs the canopy, sending whispers of potential ignition through the forest, as if the trees themselves are complicit in their own destruction and renewal. As the first light of the dawn pierces the smoky haze, the forest reveals a tapestry of emerald and ash, a living mosaic shaped by both growth and devastation. On the forest floor, a numbat's striped back ripples as it darts through the undergrowth, nose to the earth in search of termites. Oblivious to the looming threat, it navigates a labyrinth of dry twigs and brittle leaves, each step a gamble in a world where fire can strike without warning. High above, koalas cling to the smooth, pale trunks, their fur tinged with soot. Eyes wide and nostrils flaring, they scan the horizon for the faintest trace of smoke, every muscle tensed for the possibility of flight. Suddenly, a flock of black cockatoos bursts from the treetops, their wings slicing through the smoky air. Their piercing cries ricochet between the trunks, a living alarm system that signals danger to all who dwell beneath the canopy. The stillness shatters. In the distance, a faint crackle swells into a deafening roar. Flames, fanned by a relentless wind, leap from crown to crown, devouring the canopy in a wave of incandescent fury. The fire moves with terrifying speed, transforming the forest into a corridor of heat and light. Wallabies, sensing the oncoming inferno, spring into action. Their powerful hind legs propel them through tangled underbrush, each bound a desperate bid to outrun the advancing wall of flame. Amid the chaos, a spiny echidna claws frantically at the earth, burrowing deep into the cool, damp soil. Here, beneath the surface, it finds a fleeting sanctuary from the searing heat above. For others, escape is not an option. Sugar gliders press together in the darkness of a tree hollow, their tiny bodies trembling as glowing embers drift past the entrance, each spark a threat to their fragile refuge. Yet fire is not only a force of destruction, it is also the architect of renewal. In the aftermath, the forest stands transformed. Charred trunks rise like sentinels from a landscape of ash, silent witnesses to the fury that swept through only hours before. From the blackened soil, the first signs of life emerge. Scarlet fire lilies push through the ash, their vivid blossoms a defiant promise that the cycle of life will continue. Insects swarm to the newly exposed ground, drawn by the warmth and nutrients left in the fire's wake. Their arrival signals a feast for birds and lizards who descend to take advantage of the bounty. A lyrebird, undeterred by the devastation, scratches through the ash. Its remarkable voice mimics the crackle of flames and the calls of other survivors, a living echo of the fire's passage. For every creature in the fire forest, survival demands more than endurance. It requires adaptation, ingenuity, and the ability to seize opportunity from disaster. Life here is a perpetual cycle of destruction and resurgence. Each blaze reshapes the destiny of the forest's inhabitants, forging a landscape where only the most resilient can thrive. As the sun rises over the smoky horizon, a new day dawns on a world forever changed. In this crucible of flame, every breath is a wager, and every sunrise is a testament to nature's relentless power to destroy and to create anew. As the tide withdraws from the tangled coastline, the mangrove forest reveals its secret architecture, a sprawling labyrinth where land and water merge, and the interplay of light and shadow creates a world of constant transformation. Here, the boundaries are blurred, and every inch is a battleground for survival. The mangrove maze is a living frontier, its fate dictated by the relentless rhythm of the tides. Twice each day, salt water surges in, flooding the roots and submerging the forest floor, only to reseed and expose a shifting landscape teeming with life and danger. At dawn, a spectral mist drapes the swamp, curling above the glassy water. The first rays of sunlight illuminate a network of arching roots and trunks, caked in mud and brine, forming a fortress against the open sea. On the exposed mudflats, armies of fiddler crabs emerge. Their single, oversized claws wave in silent communication, signaling territory and intent. In perfect synchrony, they scuttle across the mud, vanishing instantly at the faintest vibration, a testament to their vigilance in a world of predators. Overhead, an osprey hovers with unwavering focus. Its sharp vision penetrates the shimmering surface, searching for the subtle flash of a mullet or the darting movement of a mud skipper. Every hunt is a test of patience and precision. Below, mullet leap in desperate arcs, evading both the raptor above and the silent menace below. A saltwater crocodile, its armoured back barely disturbing the water as it glides through the submerged roots, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Along the tangled branches, mud skippers, remarkable fish that breathe air and walk on land, haul themselves from one tidal pool to another. Their gills pulse rapidly, drawing oxygen from the humid air, while their muscular fins propel them across the slick mud. Each movement is fraught with peril. A heron stands motionless, its slender form blending with the roots. With a sudden lightning-fast jab, its beak becomes a lethal spear, targeting any mudskipper that strays too close. Deeper in the shadows, a juvenile mangrove monitor lizard weaves through the roots. Its forked tongue flicks in and out, sampling the air for the scent of crab or mollusk. Agile and alert, it navigates the maze with practiced ease, always on the hunt. Perfectly camouflaged against the mottled bark, the lizard pauses, invisible to all but the keenest eyes. Nearby, a school of needlefish glides through the flooded forest, their slender bodies slicing through the water in synchronized formation, ever wary of lurking threats. Suddenly, the silence is shattered by a splash. A proboscis monkey launches itself from branch to branch, its webbed fingers splayed wide for grip and balance. Adapted for an amphibious life, it navigates the canopy with astonishing agility, always alert for danger from above and below. As the sun climbs higher, the tide recedes further, exposing a landscape transformed. Mudflats stretch between the roots, revealing hidden dangers and new opportunities for the creatures that call this place home. Mud lobsters emerge from their burrows, tirelessly churning the earth and aerating the roots. Nearby, venomous cone snails lie in ambush, their harpoon-like raduli primed to deliver a fatal sting to any unsuspecting prey. By midday, the forest vibrates with life. Insects drone in the thick air, crustaceans click and scuttle beneath the roots, and the piercing call of a kingfisher echoes across the water, signalling both territory and intent. But the tranquility is fleeting. The tide, relentless and inevitable, begins its return, surging into the forest and flooding every hollow, every burrow, every hidden refuge. Instinctively, creatures respond. Crabs scramble up roots, fish dart into deeper pools, and burrowers retreat further underground, each adapting in real time to the rising water and shifting dangers. A young mangrove snake, its body banded in striking stripes, glides effortlessly through the submerged roots. It hunts with precision, seeking out fish trapped by the incoming tide, its movements both graceful and deadly. For some, the flood brings opportunity, a chance to hunt, to feed, to thrive. For others, it is a gauntlet, a final test of resilience in a world where only the most adaptable survive. As dusk descends, the forest is bathed in twilight. The maze resets, its secrets hidden once more beneath the rising tide and deepening shadows. The mangrove forest is sculpted by the ceaseless push and pull of water, a landscape in perpetual motion, where every moment brings new challenges and new stories of survival. In this shadowed world, every creature is both predator and prey. Every root, every pool, every shadow conceals a drama of cunning, adaptation, and the relentless will to endure. In the river of shadows, survival belongs to those who can change as swiftly as the tide itself. Masters of adaptation in nature's most intricate maze, gap twos. Beyond the tangled embrace of the mangroves, the land gives way to a stark new frontier, the whispering dunes. Here the world is sculpted not by water, but by wind. Endless waves of sand ripple across the horizon, their crests shifting with each breath of the desert air. In this ever-changing landscape, survival is a test of patience, ingenuity, and endurance. As dawn breaks, the desert awakens in silence. The first rays of sunlight ignite the sands, painting them in hues of gold and ochre. Tiny tracks etch mysterious patterns across the surface, evidence of a secretive nightlife. The sidewinder snake, master of stealth, emerges from beneath the cool surface. With a unique sideways motion, it glides over the burning sand, leaving a signature trail behind. Its senses are finely tuned, detecting the faint vibrations of prey hidden beneath the surface. Beneath the sands, a hidden world thrives. The sandfish skink, A lizard adapted for this harsh realm dives beneath the grains as if swimming through water. Its scales reflect the sun's heat, and its eyelids shield delicate eyes from swirling dust. In the cool underworld, it hunts for beetle larvae, each movement masked by the insulating sands above. Above ground, the dunes appear barren, but life persists in ingenious forms. The antlion larva, a patient predator, crafts a conical pit in the fine sand, lying in wait at the bottom. When an unsuspecting ant tumbles in, the larva erupts from the depths, dragging its prize below the surface in a burst of sand and legs. On the crest of a dune, a Saharan silver ant braves the daylight heat, its metallic body reflecting the ferocious sun. It moves with urgency, for it has only minutes to forage before the temperature becomes lethal. Each step is calculated, each journey a race against time. A sudden gust of wind transforms the landscape in an instant. Sand grains whip across the surface, erasing tracks and reshaping the dunes. For the fennec fox, the desert's smallest canid, these shifting sands are both refuge and hunting ground. With ears attuned to the faintest rustle, it listens for the movement of rodents beneath the surface. A precise leap, a flurry of paws, and the desert yields its hidden bounty. As the day's heat intensifies, most creatures retreat to the sanctuary of burrows and shade. Only the most resilient remain active, like the dung beetle, which rolls its prize across the scorching plain, guided by the sun and the stars above. By dusk, the temperature plummets, and the desert comes alive once more. Jerboas bound across the cooling sands, their long legs propelling them in great leaps, evading the silent flight of an owl overhead. The dunes, now bathed in silver moonlight, whisper with movement, each grain a testament to the passage of time. Life in the shifting sands is a lesson in adaptation. Here, every creature is shaped by the wind, the sun, and the relentless march of the dunes. In this vast whispering desert, survival belongs to those who can read the language of the sands, a world where silence speaks and every grain tells a story. Amidst the endless expanse of arid sands, where survival seems a distant hope, pockets of life thrive in defiance of the desert's harsh decree. These are the hidden oases, verdant sanctuaries cradled by barren dunes, where water carves out miracles in the heart of desolation. As the camera glides low across the scorching plain, a sudden shimmer betrays the presence of a secret world. Palm fronds sway gently above crystalline pools, their roots reaching deep to tap ancient aquifers. Here the air is heavy with the scent of moisture, and the chorus of insects fills the twilight. A dragonfly hovers above the water's edge, its iridescent wings catching the sun's fading glow. With a deft plunge, it skims the surface, hunting for tiny water beetles that ripple the mirrored pool below. Beneath the surface, schools of desert killifish dart between reeds, their brief, brilliant lives unfolding in sync with the oasis's fleeting waters. On the banks, a colony of weaver birds sets to work. With meticulous precision, they weave intricate nests from reeds and grasses, suspended masterpieces that sway above the life-giving pond. Each nest shelters a clutch of eggs, their fragile shells warmed by the filtered light. As dusk deepens, a chorus of frogs erupts, a symphony of croaks and trills echoing across the still waters. Their calls summon mates, marking the beginning of a brief explosive breeding season, fueled by the oasis's bounty. In the moonlight, tiny tadpoles swirl in the shallows, each one a promise of new life. Above, a bat flutters silently, skimming the surface in search of insects drawn by the oasis's bloom. Its delicate wings slice through the cool night air, a vital link in the web of life that radiates from this watery heart. Even the desert's harshest denizens are drawn to this refuge. At dawn, a sand gazelle approaches the pool, its movements cautious yet desperate. It sips, each drop a victory against the relentless thirst of the dunes, before melting back into the shimmering heat. These oases, rare and precious, are lifelines for countless desert dwellers. They are places of convergence, where predator and prey, plant and pollinator all gather in temporary harmony. Here, in the embrace of water and shade, the desert reveals its most guarded secret, that even in the harshest places, life finds a way to flourish. In the hidden oases, the desert breathes, each pool a testament to resilience, each green blade a symbol of hope. And as the sun rises once more, casting golden light across the water, the miracle of survival continues, quietly sustained by these sanctuaries in the sand. At the edge of the world's deserts, where parched earth surrenders to an endless white expanse, the salt pans awaken beneath the fierce, unblinking sun. Here the landscape is transformed. Dunes give way to blinding plains of salt, cracked into intricate mosaics by the relentless cycle of heat and evaporation. The camera glides across this shimmering wasteland, where the horizon wavers and mirages dance in the midday glare. Beneath the surface, ancient, mineral-rich waters seep upward, only to be claimed by the sun, leaving behind a crust that glitters like frost. In this otherworldly realm, life appears improbable. Yet, at the first signs of seasonal rain, a transformation begins. Shallow pools form atop the salt, tinted pink and orange by clouds of microscopic algae that thrive in briny water. These tiny architects of colour flourish where few others can, their pigments painting the pans in surreal hues. The arrival of water signals a rare feast. Swarms of brine shrimp hatch from dormant cysts, their transparent bodies pulsing in the shallow pools. For a brief moment, the salt pans teem with motion as these resilient crustaceans filter feed on the blooming algae, forming the foundation of a fragile food web. Above, elegant avocets and stilts descend from the sky, their slender legs barely disturbing the glassy surface. With sweeping bills, they trace delicate arcs through the water, harvesting shrimp and insects with practiced grace. As the pools recede, the salt tightens its grip on the land. The camera lingers on crystalline structures growing along the water's edge, each one a geometric marvel sculpted by wind and evaporation. In the fading light, the salt pans become a canvas of reflection, sky and earth merging in a fleeting illusion of infinity. Night brings a hush, but the pans are not silent. In the cool darkness, beetles and nocturnal spiders emerge from burrows beneath the salt crust, scavenging for remnants of the day's abundance. Their movements are cautious, every step a delicate negotiation with the razor-sharp surface above. As dawn returns, the ephemeral pools vanish, leaving only the memory of life etched in salt and shadow. The salt pans endure, patient and unyielding, awaiting the next rain, the next cycle of renewal. Here, in the starkest of landscapes, life adapts in extraordinary ways, enduring, transforming and thriving on a crust of white that seems, at first glance, to promise only emptiness. This is the paradox of the salt pans, a place where life is measured in moments and every heartbeat is a triumph over adversity. In the world's harshest corners, even the most unlikely places can become sanctuaries, if only for a fleeting, miraculous season. Beyond the salt pans, Where the desert's reach falters and the horizon stretches unbroken, another marvel stirs with the turn of the seasons. Here, in the low-lying basins between ancient dunes, the land lies dormant, parched, cracked, and seemingly forsaken. Yet beneath this desolate crust, a hidden promise is kept: the phantom lakes. As distant storms gather, their rains traverse hundreds of miles, seeping silently through unseen channels. One dawn, without warning, the basin awakens. Water arrives in a silver surge, flooding the hollows with a mirror-like sheen that shimmers beneath the newborn sun. The transformation is instantaneous. Where dust ruled, now lies a vast, glimmering expanse. The camera glides low over the surface, capturing the ephemeral beauty of water, reflecting sky, cloud, and the ghostly silhouettes of distant dunes. Within hours, dormant seeds and spores, buried for years in the dust, sense the change. Bursts of green erupt along the shallows, tiny aquatic plants unfurling, their leaves trembling in the current. Insects, summoned by instinct and the scent of moisture, descend in clouds. Water beetles skate across the surface, while delicate mayfly larvae twist and dart below. The water becomes a stage for a fleeting ballet, each creature driven by urgency, for the clock is already ticking. Amid the stillness, the camera focuses on a drama unfolding beneath the surface. Fairy shrimp, ancient survivors of vanished lakes, hatch by the millions. Their transparent bodies undulate through the water, filter-feeding on the plankton bloom that follows the first sunlight. For a few precious days, the food chain explodes in abundance. Above, flocks of waders and sandgrouse appear as if conjured by the water's magic. They do not linger. Each visit is measured and purposeful. Spoonbills sweep the shallows, their bills sifting for shrimp, while dragonflies hover and dart, their wings flashing like shards of glass. As swiftly as they appeared, the lakes begin to recede. The relentless sun reclaims its dominion, vapour drawing the water skyward, leaving behind a shrinking oasis. Fish, descendants of ancient floods, race to spawn before the waters vanish, their fry darting through the shrinking pools. Amphibians emerge from burrows, calling and breeding, their life cycles compressed into mere days. The camera lingers on the retreating edge of the lake, where mud cracks and fissures reappear, swallowing the last traces of water. In their wake, a tapestry of life is left behind. Carapaces of shrimp, scattering of feathers, and the green blush of plants soon to wither. The land grows silent once more, but beneath the surface seeds and eggs await, ready for the next miracle. The phantom lakes are gone, but their memory endures in the cycle of renewal and disappearance. Nature's promise written in water and light. In this fleeting world, life is not just possible, but spectacular. It is a testament to resilience, to adaptation, and to the artistry of survival in the most impermanent of realms. At the farthest edge of the desert, beyond the reach of phantom lakes and the shimmer of salt pans, a new world emerges under the relentless sun, the glass plains. As dawn breaks, the camera drifts low across a landscape that appears forged from another planet. Here, minerals dissolved by ancient floods have crystallized into vast glittering sheets, a mosaic of translucent crusts, fragile and razor-thin, stretching to the horizon. Each step would shatter the silence with a brittle chime, but no footfalls disturb this pristine domain. The sun climbs higher, and with it the temperature rises. Beneath the glassy surface, microscopic life stirs. Brine flies, their larvae encased in saline mud, awaken with the first rays, wriggling toward the light. The camera dives below the surface, magnifying the alien beauty of these creatures as they feed on halophilic algae, algae that thrive where almost nothing else can survive. Vibrant hues of green and pink ripple beneath the transparent crust, painting the plains with secret colour. Above, the air shimmers with heat. Dust devils dance across the flats, their swirling columns scattering fragments of crystal into the wind. A flock of flamingos, drawn by the promise of brine shrimp, alights at the water's edge. Their legs barely dent the fragile surface as they sweep their bills in synchrony, sieving the briny soup for a fleeting feast. Overhead, the camera soars with kestrels, their shadows flickering over the glass, hunting for insects, and the rare lizard bold enough to venture onto the open plain. As midday approaches, the temperature soars. Crystals begin to fracture, their edges curling and splintering in the heat. The camera closes in on a time-lapse of the crust as it buckles, patterns shifting, new fissures radiating outward like veins of lightning. In these cracks, salt-tolerant plants send out tentative shoots, their roots probing for pockets of moisture deep below the surface. By afternoon, the mirage intensifies. Waves of heat blur the horizon, conjuring illusory rivers and ghostly islands that vanish with each blink. Yet, life persists in this shimmering uncertainty. Ant colonies, shielded beneath the crust, emerge in brief coordinated forays, harvesting seeds and detritus before retreating to cooler depths. As the sun sets, the glass plains are transformed once more. The cooling air solidifies the crust, and the crystals catch the dying light, igniting the landscape in a kaleidoscope of colour. The camera pulls back to reveal the vastness of this crystalline wilderness, a realm that endures in silence, its inhabitants adapted to a world of extremes, thriving where fragility and strength are one. Here, on the glass plains, life is a delicate balancing act, each day a testament to the ingenuity of survival in a world as beautiful as it is unforgiving. In this final frontier, the desert reveals its most fragile secret, that even in the harshest places, the spark of life finds a way to shine.